gold, which is one of the favorites of Indians. Now, India's gold imports are set to in fact plunge by more than 90% in March from the previous month. Now, this could be as a result, and this could be in fact the lowest level since COVID pandemic, and comes at a time when banks have cut imports after a record high price hike and price demand in the last couple of months. Now, as per a Reuters report, lower imports by India, the world's second biggest consumer of precious metal, could limit a rally in global gold prices, and that hit a record high, remember, earlier this month on expectations that Federal Reserve Bank will cut interest rates this year. The drop in imports could also help India narrow its trade deficit and support the rupee. India's gold import are likely to fall to 10 to 11 metric ton in March from about 110 metric ton as of February. This is going to be a 90% plunge. Looks like banks are not importing gold anymore. Could this also result in stabilizing gold prices? We don't know, but the demand has taken a hit for now.
And it's surprising that this is the time, this is month of March is when it's wedding season is in full swing. This is when, you know, there is going to be so much of households across the country spending so much money buying gold. But interestingly, what happened at the beginning of this month is that gold prices touched a record high of nearly 67,000 rupees per 10 grams. And at that price, suddenly it became not all that attractive. And you have people going in and exchanging their jewelry, not necessarily buying in new gold. There is also the import of gold is just is gotten down to a trickle. Both gold dowry, which is the alloy from which gold is made, and direct gold itself, both the import by jewelers in this country have come down to a small trickle, and it shouldn't have ideally by this point in time, because this is the wedding season. The demand is meant to be high, and the demand is low. Demand is low from the banks because of the prices at which gold is trading. Demand from people is low again because they're not sure whether to buy gold at these prices. So a fact of the matter is that all of this has resulted in gold demand plunging to COVID pandemic levels. And why are we comparing this with the pandemic levels? Pandemics at the time when the flights were down, all jewelry shops were shut. There was literally no avenue to get
buy.
or to import gold into the country, to get them on airplanes into the country, convert those gold into jewelry, and then open the jewelry stores, and then people go and buy that jewelry. Neither was gold coming into the country, nor were people going to the shops to buy jewelry. So this was a once in a lifetime catastrophic event that resulted in gold prices or gold imports are plunging. And if you're talking about it now, it is only because of the prices at which gold is trading. Gold prices obviously on a steady rise, hitting a record high, and then at the prices at which it was trading, people not finding enough value to buy gold. And surprisingly, in a country like India, during wedding season, bear in mind, India is the second largest consumer of gold in the world after China, and we're talking about India consuming less gold at a time which is full wedding season. So I'm not sure if this kind of a situation will happen again, and we'll have to see how gold prices stabilize from here on.
Absolutely. So this could likely have an impact not just on India's deficit, the fiscal deficit, but also by the way of the fact that gold prices, which have been on a high, could perhaps stabilize in the next couple of weeks.
Well, I don't want to be the crystal ball gazer over here, Shweta, because what's going to happen to gold prices is a factor of is so many things.
Absolutely.
But what can happen with India buying in lesser and lesser gold is that it could have an impact not just on gold prices within domestic gold prices, but gold prices globally. Because if the second largest consumer of the yellow metal is importing less, is buying less, is consuming less, then that will consequently have an impact on global gold prices. So I'm very interested to see what's going to happen to global gold prices from here on.
Absolutely. Prices likely to stabilize going forward. As far as demand taking a hit in India is concerned, plunged by about 90% in the month of March, quite surprisingly at that. And what will that result in? That will of course result in prices perhaps going down globally in the next couple of weeks.